It's Peaches here, and this is Peaches Pit Party, the podcast. A lot of puh sounds with that title. A replay of today's full show, which you can hear weekday afternoons live on K-Bear 101. I hope you like what I have to say, and if not, well, then I'm sorry, not sorry. Enjoy. Peaches Pit Party on K-Bear 101, Idaho's only rock station. It was announced earlier today that Vans Warped Tour making an official comeback. It was in the talks before, and Kevin Lyman did say we have something lined up. Now it's officially official. There are 3 stops so far. Washington, D.C., June 14th through the 15th. Long Beach, California, July 26th through the 27th. And then Orlando, Florida, November 15th through the 16th. I'm thinking what's going to happen is more is going to be announced with this. There are already people complaining in their comment section, talking up a whole lot of crap online, calling it Warped Stop instead of Warped Tour. Get it? Because it's another one of those cutesy online nicknames that people like to just give out, and then others will repeat it, thinking it's original, trying to make it as original. It's a whole cycle. The internet has turned horribly wrong. I think staying off the internet is better for everybody. And if it was up to me, I would just cancel all concerts because people have gotten way too spoiled. Way too spoiled. You would think post-2020, after having no concerts during that entire year and for partial of 2021, you think people would be grateful. No, they're just, replace this band with this band. I'm only going for this specific band. I'm going to leave because I don't really like the headliner, blah, 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 blah. If you don't like the Warped Tour, just don't even bother showing up. Simple as that. Next year, July 26th through the 27th in Long Beach, California, that looks like a great stop. I am hoping to be in California around that time anyway. I was planning that before I saw the news here about Warped Tour making a stop in Long Beach at the Shoreline waterfront. I have no idea where that even is. Will I potentially go to this? I might want to try to get a media pass or something like that to get into sort of sneak my way into it. Because these 2-day passes, they're starting at $149.98 with fees included, on sale this Thursday, October 24th. I believe there's more to come. So be on the lookout for that with this Vans Warped Tour announcement. If you do want to go to any show that's already coming to the area itself, go to the concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com. Unfortunately, real unfortunate that this news popped up yesterday. I don't care if you're not a pop fan or not. It was very shocking to see this happen. Liam Payne, formerly of One Direction, he fell from his hotel balcony in South America and passed away. He was only 31 years old. I know he has the exact same birthday as me. He had the exact same birthday as me. He was exactly 3 years older than me, and it was shocking really to see this news pop up as I got to Pocatello yesterday for the Haunted Meetup sign-up session. What was really bad, too, was TMZ decided, hey, you know what? Let's post photos of what is presumably the body. And they quickly took those down because of backlash. Oh, wait, no, they still have somewhat. No, that's not exactly the same photo that I saw yesterday. The photo I saw yesterday was pretty brutal. But they're showing photos of the exact balcony, where he landed, all that horrible stuff. It's downright awful. And I know there was many people tweeting like a week ago saying how corny he was, how weird he's been acting as of late. He had been in Argentina recently for a Niall Horan concert earlier in the month, and the One Direction bandmates actually reunited at the show, but people were still making fun of him last week, and as you see yesterday, passes away. And there's a whole lot of weird things that I've heard, seen, read online. Several witnesses at the hotel where he was staying at in Buenos Aires told TMZ that he trashed the lobby. There was something like that. There was something like he broke a laptop. His girlfriend left after a couple days. She just flew back on her own because it was supposed to be a 5-day vacation. Ended up being a whole 2-week stay. And I don't know. I feel like there will be some Netflix documentary at some point on this sudden and very tragic passing. Earlier today, I should have booked this actually a whole lot earlier. I waited till last minute to book my Airbnb for Saturday night when I make my way to Boise for the Wage War era Throne Fame on Fire show. I decided to go with an Airbnb because I was having issues with the website that Victor suggested. I had a whole thing with my bank that they were trying to take money out that shouldn't have been taken out. It was a whole issue. So I said, I'll never use that website again. I'll just look around. And turns out this Airbnb was cheaper than most of the hotel rooms that were being offered because it's so close to the weekend. I'm sure that's why the prices were a little bit higher than usual. And I was looking at Airbnb and I realized how many weird options that website has. And I'm glad I found somebody's like fully furnished apartment just by myself. There's nobody else there. It's very weird to me that somebody would sign up for Airbnb or somebody would like want to go on vacation and then stay in somebody's extra bedroom. I saw this one that I could have bought. I don't know if it was cheaper or not. I don't remember that. But it said like, oh yeah, you can rent my extra room that I have in my house. I'm a talker. I have 2 mini pigs and a dog. And I'm like, the last thing I want to do when I'm trying to arrange a whole meet and greet with a band and trying to get listeners to meet a band, my mind will be stressing out on the whole entire thing. The last thing I want is somebody talking to me in the room that I'm supposed to be sleeping in. I like having my own privacy when it comes to this type of thing. And I'm glad I just found that fully furnished 1-bedroom apartment. And the directions they give you on Airbnb sometimes, it's almost like you're going to go rob a bank. There was like a whole 7-step plan that this lady sent me where it's like, you can park in front of the building, but for some reason, if that lot's filled up, then you can park to the side, or you can park farther away and walk over there. And when you get to the apartment, make sure to tap your fingers onto the scanner, then enter the proper code, then go up to the 4th floor. There will be it's like a whole like scavenger hunt almost just for the room to be taken up. I shouldn't be complaining about it. I'm glad I found something though. I'm glad I found at least somewhere to go for the weekend. I'm very, very happy that the place I'm staying at is less than a mile away from Trader Joe's, and I cannot wait to go over there and spend what little money I have on a whole bunch of Trader Joe's products. The damage done to Tropicana Field by Hurricane Milton is so severe that the Tampa Bay Rays will have to play somewhere else to start the 2025 season. The Tampa Bay Times reports that besides the roof being destroyed, many of the team offices in the stadium are unusable and the scoreboards are damaged too. The most likely candidates for a temporary home are the Rays' own minor league affiliate 90 miles away in Port Charlotte or at the spring training homes of the Phillies, Yankees, or Blue Jays. In hockey news, the Chicago Blackhawks unveiled a new slate of food and beverages that will be available starting at their home opener at the United Center today. And by far the most popular item given a preview was a 24-ounce beer that is shaped just like a hockey stick. The bottom of the stick is solid plastic, so it could be reused for some street hockey after watching the Blackhawks. And last but not least here in basketball news, the NBA is looking to crack down on phone use during games by players and coaches. The league is preparing a memo to send to teams that restates a previous rule that prohibits players and coaches from using their phones to post to social media or share video footage with game officials from 45 minutes before tip-off through post-game media obligations. This rule clarification is intended to keep players and coaches focused on team matters, but also to make sure the integrity of each game is held due to gambling on games. Teams will designate 1 point of communication for players and coaches during the no-phone period. It's like going back to middle school. No phones at all in class. That was a huge thing back when I was in middle school. If you had your phone out, it was almost like bringing a gun to school. Like, please, no, no. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. Like I said before, earlier on in the show today, that Airbnb is a weird site. You can get somebody's mansion. You could also get a shared room with somebody else. You can get a whole wide variety of places on Airbnb. And right here in the radio prep, this Airbnb host is offering a tent in someone else's living room for $20 a night. So if you want to sleep in a tent in somebody's living room in Polanco, Mexico, there you go. It's essentially a tent. It's not exactly a tent, but it's essentially a tent. It's I'm trying to read more about it here. This whole article is way long. Oh, depending on what people book or when they book, when people book, renters might share the living quarters, bathroom, and common spaces with other travelers. To prevent thievery, each tent features a small lock while belongings are stored in lockers next to the yurts, just like middle school. There are plenty of hotel-worthy amenities with this, including Wi-Fi, a TV, a hair dryer, hot water, washing machine and dryer, even bed linen. I mean, if you're really wanting to travel the world on a budget, this seems like the right thing for you. But you got to give up a whole lot of good stuff, like actually sleeping the night somewhere comfy. I can't imagine. The picture they're showing me is a tent, essentially, on hardwood floor. That's nowhere near comfortable. I thought this was great news when I saw it yesterday. The Federal Trade Commission has implemented a new click-to-cancel rule to make it easier for consumers to end subscriptions and memberships aimed at preventing drawn-out cancellation processes. The one company that was getting called out everywhere online was Planet Fitness. It was really funny looking at some of those jokes about them. The rule aims to eliminate deceptive practices and requires businesses to provide simple cancellation mechanisms. The rule, which takes effect in 180 days, also addresses the manipulation of user interfaces to hinder cancellation, as seen in the case of Amazon Prime. The changes have received support from consumers and opposition from industry associations, with the FTC emphasizing the importance of ending tricks and saving time and money for Americans. Going to the gym and trying to cancel a gym membership is downright awful. I don't know if you've ever dealt also with trying to cancel a SiriusXM subscription. It used to be really bad. They would try getting my dad all the time with like, oh, okay, well, you don't want to pay $9.99 a month? You can now pay $5 a month. Where was that offer before? That sort of thing. I know with some gyms out there, they don't allow you online to cancel. You have to go inside, and then they pretty much like try to sucker you in with deals. I hate sleazy salespeople. I really do. They bug me extra. They bug me a whole lot more than most people. Like sleazy car salesmen, gym membership salespeople. They're all terrible. I'm one of those old farts now that says, back in my day, we didn't have AI when I was in high school or college. AI at the that we can use simply whenever, wherever. It's getting kids in trouble nowadays. A Massachusetts family suing Hingham High School after their son was accused of cheating. They claim their son used AI as a quote-unquote tool to do research and did not break any of the school's rules. Am I calling complete crap? Yes. No kid uses AI as a tool to do research. You go to the library, you study, you use the textbook, you use notes. Those are tools to do research, not asking AI, hey, can you write a paper for me? The parents say they told us our son cheated on a paper, which is not what happened. These people seem like those parents that are what they call snowplow parents. They just clear out the way in front of their kids, no matter how bad their kid actually is. They go, oh, he'll never do anything wrong. The mom goes on to say they basically punished him for a rule that doesn't exist. The boy was not allowed into the National Honor Society as a result. So essentially, this kid got in trouble for using AI to write a paper. He was supposed to go to one of these high-end colleges. This ended up getting him in trouble, which I'm assuming these colleges then took back their offers. So now the family's like, oh, okay, we're not going to have our kid go to college for free. We're not going to sue the school for something that our kid clearly did. The family wants the school to update its AI policy so they are more clear. Well, this lawsuit ended them up on the radio prep, so now they're getting national coverage. I heard another radio show talk about this exact same story, so I know it's getting talked about out there. Oh, man. And they gave out the parents' names, Jennifer and Dale Harris. So clearly this kid is going to be found online. It's a whole mess. The parents really just put this kid... Well, he started it. He used AI to cheat on an essay. You ever see one of those signs that says, don't swim in this pool if you've had diarrhea in the last 14 days, and you go, there's clearly a story behind that. Well, Plettenberg, Germany, has banned cacti from the town hall. And there are signs out there that say no cacti, and it makes you laugh because you're like, what happened here? Well, the mayor says cacti are dangerous, and then he went on to say, we had an incident where someone was injured. A plant apparently fell into somebody's lap and got the thorns right there. Yeah. Opinions are divided on the issue for some reason. Like, who actually cares about cacti at the town hall? Like, how is that going to affect somebody who lives in the town? And a statement from the town refuses to elaborate further onto the ban. I'm assuming somebody did something stupid. I don't think the plant that fell into somebody's lap is a actual legitimate excuse. I feel like somebody landed on a cactus doing something stupid. The mayor grabbed one by accident, poked his hand, and now I don't want any more cacti in here. I'm done. Done with cacti. All right, we got another round of how did that get in there? We've all gone shopping for things we need, only to come home with items we never intended to get, but no one was ever more surprised than this Aldi shopper. A Reddit user shared their story about how they opened a package of raw chicken breasts from Aldi and found a single AirPod inside. The user wrote, found this baby tucked between 2 chicken breasts in the pack I opened yesterday. Didn't know Aldi started selling electronics too. Ha, 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 ha. Commenters chimed in with their ideas on how the earbud got into the package, with everything from it fell out of a worker's ear while packing up the chicken to the chicken listening to music while it was butchered. I like that second one better. If you're an autograph collector, maybe you're a baseball fan, you want to have a Mickey Mantle autographed baseball. I think my parents have one of those. I'm not exactly sure. Well, there's no shortage of Mickey Mantle autographs in the marketplace, but there is now this unique item making the rounds. I saw it before I even saw this Radio Prep story here. There's a 14-inch by 20-inch cardstock signed 99 times by Mickey Mantle. I don't know if for some reason he just decided, you know what? I'm going to sit here and write my name 99 times on this piece of paper, this piece of cardstock. But he also wrote, "These pens suck," and pointed to his signature at one part of it. So this 14 by 20 cardstock is now going up for auction. I'm guaranteeing you it's going to go for a lot of money. The cardstock has already been bid on 37 times, with the price already sitting at $70,000. People have too much money. Imagine spending $70,000 on a piece of cardstock that's signed by Mickey Mantle 99 times. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to frame it? Put it in your hallway? Show it off at parties? That's what I've always wondered, that when people buy stuff like this for ridiculous amounts of money. What are you going to do with this piece of cardstock? Are you just going to show it off to your friends, maybe keep it privately, put it in your office and say, yeah. I feel like a guy like Dana White would buy something like this. He has too much money, way too much money. And he has some weird stuff around the UFC office. You can find tours of that office on YouTube. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. This would go right on in there. Time for To Peach Their Own. This one popped up in the Radio Prep that was taken from Ask Reddit. So it was taken from originally Ask Reddit. And I was like, you know what? I'll ask it. Because it's scary movie season. What's your horror movie flaw that would get you killed? Some of the responses on Reddit: I frequently tell people I'll be right back. Another one that says I'm a skeptic. The person who says there must be a rational explanation for this is usually one of the first people to die. Someone else had a really, really funny answer there. My bones crack when I try to walk slow or crouch. They're going to hear me moving around like a bag of chips. That'll be one of my, that would get me killed in the horror movies, that I'm much too big to hide anywhere. I wouldn't go behind a bush or a tree or whatever, or go in the bush. They would see me. It would also be weird for somebody much smaller than me to try to come after me. It'd be odd. I don't know. For a lot of these horror movie villains, they don't really cast people like me in horror movies. They always have to have the victim or the main characters be much, much smaller. Somebody like Little Russell, for example. Because if Michael Myers was chasing a guy taller than him, it's a little weird, isn't it? Because you would assume like the bigger guy would win in that situation. I don't think I would against Michael Myers. You kidding me? Maybe my lack of speed would also get me killed in a horror movie. What's your horror movie flaw that would get you killed? 208-535-1015. I'm curious as to see if you have an answer or not. K-Bear, how's it going?
Not too bad.
Oh, James again. For today's question, because it's scary movie season, what's your horror movie flaw that would get you killed?
Well, I would inevitably end up hitting my head on something and then swearing very loudly because it hurt, and then that would be what alerts the killer, mad alien, whatever thing that's trying to kill me. That would be what would lure it in to kill me.
You actually hit your head on a lot of things?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Which is funny, because that's usually a question that I get all the time. Like, do you hit your head on a lot of different door frames or whatever? And I always had the same answer. Like, for some reason, I have this like automatic like duck detector where like if I sense something's coming my way, I just automatically duck.
Yeah, no. When I was in the Army, coming down on when I was on the boat there that I was stationed on, every time I'd go down to the engine room, there was a pipe that would come across about halfway down the stairwell. That when you're hungover, coming down first thing in the morning, you always hit your head on that.
That was almost like the hangover cure, wasn't it?
Well, no, it just made it worse.
Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.